Hello, I'm Mr. Craven from the NET English Director team, and I'm going to be quickly talking through this quotation from A Christmas Carol. The quotation comes from the moment when the Ghost of Christmas Present shows Scrooge the children that have been sheltering under its robe, ignorance and want. The children themselves are important as symbols in the text. They represent, remember, both the cause and the consequence of the evils in the society of the time. Scrooge chooses to ignore the problems in the world around him, and his ignorance causes the lack of education, the self-cycling poverty of children such as these. Their ignorance is the result of his. Similarly, his want, his desire for money, for control, has resulted in the lack of food, warmth, support, hope, life that these children experience. Scrooge's want has left the poor wanting, and yellow is an interesting colour choice. It's associated very much with negative things here, with sickness in particular. Yellow is the colour of jaundice, often associated with alcohol-induced liver failure, and a widespread health condition in London at the time, particularly among the poor. Jaundice can also result from malnutrition, again a common problem for children such as these. The children are also meagre and ragged, presumably small for their age, through poor public health, industrial pollution and poor nutrition again, and they're unable to afford new clothing, though ragged can refer both to the children themselves and their clothing. Scowling and wolfish shift from a more sympathetic presentation to a sense of anger and aggression. The children are angry, suspicious of the world around them, but they also seem almost feral, reduced to the level of aggressive scavenging animals, wolves, hungry and potentially dangerous, especially when in packs. However, what the children are most is prostrate, brought low, in a position of submission and helplessness, perhaps even with religious connotations. The children have been brought low by Scrooge's society and the influence of those like him, and it is his religious, personal and social duty to answer their prayers, to help overcome their ignorance and their want by ridding himself of his own. And don't forget that by the end of Stave 5, we've seen Scrooge donating to the charity collected The Portly Gentleman, and supporting at least one child who is also meagre and ragged, Tiny Tim.